Hey guys, Vol here. It's time to finally finish off these battle reports to do with Equinox, and yeah, man, it's taken ages. Equinox was months ago now, and I just haven't been getting around to do the videos. So here's the last one. It's Empire against Dwarves, me against Daryl. I can't count the number of times I've played Daryl at tournaments now. It's just getting ridiculous. By the way, I am well aware of the new Tomb Kings that are coming out, so obviously, I'm getting your emails, guys, but now is not really the time for me to talk about what I think of the Tomb Kings and what I'm planning on doing with them. I'll leave that to another video. One thing I should say, though, is that I haven't had a chance to read the book. It's not actually out yet. If you guys would like to email me with a link to you-know-what, for me to actually find out a bit more, I'd appreciate that, because I'm having trouble finding the the certain thing that I need to know more about Tomb Kings, if you guys know what I'm saying. Anyway, Empire against Dwarves. We're going to have a look here. I've deployed completely to the right flank. In fact, this game is only going to take place in the right-hand side of the table because Daryl has just cornered himself into a little castle there on the hill, and that's what it's going to be all about. For the mission 6, we basically had to roll the dice to see what mission it would be, and it was Battle Line. So, just the stock standard 7th edition style mission. I've got all of my fledglings going up the right to attack as troll slayers. Quite happy about that because without any armor, the fledglings will actually kill quite a lot of troll slayers. Tank going through the middle to hopefully bog down one of his big iron beard or long beard units while I shoot at him, and the knights going around the left. They're actually not pictured in the photo, so I'm going to go to the next image. Here you can see the knights zipping around the forest, and the plan really with the knights is to move forward in such a way that if he does bring his blocks forward towards me, I could get a combo flank charge with the knights going through the woods, risking some casualties, but that's life. If he just tanks back, then I'm going to get my knights around after a few turns, galloping around the forest, and eventually be able to flank him at the end of the day when I do get to his side of the board, or just kill his war machine. So I'm quite happy with deployment here, feeling very confident going into this game too, and the war machine's nice and spread out so that they can't cause too many panic checks after I move off the back line. Daryl's got all of his guys bunched together. He's actually got the banner of 5+ ward save against shooting, which is quite an effective one against my army, but I'll still be shooting a lot at him anyway. He's got his Troll Slayer split up into 2 units, so I can pick on them one at a time and hopefully get some points, but the tough stuff's going to be his big unit of boys, his clansmen, clansdwarves, with the shield bearer Dwarf Lord, who's quite well armoured. He hasn't got an Anvil of Doom, though, so that's why this game should be a lot easier than the last time I faced him. Next image, I am lucky enough to win the first turn, so the tank cranks ahead straight away, so does the flagellants and the swordsman moving in behind it. Don't want to commit the swordsman too early because I need, to get into a good position with them. 1 for 1, they're not very good against dwarves, but if I can whittle them down with the tank and with the flagellants, I should be able to move them in for the killing blow later on and remove steadfast. Shooting phase goes really well on the first turn, and if we go to the next photo, he's responded with his first turn moving out, and he's decided to move forward because in my first turn I got a great mortar hit on his big dwarf unit, killing tons of them, and I destroyed his very expensive stone thrower in the first round of shooting with my cannons as well, which I was really stoked about. Wanted to do as much damage as I could to his war machines before he tried to kill my tank. In his responding turn, he fired a lot of stuff at my tank, and with 4 pluses to wound it with the cannon, I was very nervous that he might really just neuter me straight away with that shot, but I was lucky enough to not be wounded by the cannonball. So that's how the opening of the game sets up. Going to the next picture, the tank screaming around here to my opponent's pyramid of dice. I guess he was bored of me trying to work out what I was going to do, so he was building a dice pyramid, but I'm quite happy with his position. The tanks move into his longbeards, and the flagellants in horde formation straight away into the troll slayers, and they're going to be stuck there for quite some time. In the meantime, I've got my pistoliers in a position where they can actually rush in and prevent his clansmen from getting involved in the fight straight away, and the knights at this stage really are going to just have to go around and kill the war machines, because they're not going to be able to do anything against the dwarf warriors straight away. I have managed to kill his organ gun as well with my cannons, so that was first turn luck, and gives the knights a great opportunity to sweep around the flanks, and otherwise just going to have to hang back with the knights until later on in the game. Next image, the flagellants rush into the troll slayers, killing tons of them, but the tank, although it does plenty of damage against the longbeards, he has strength 6 great weapons, not strength 5, and Daryl rolled a lot more 6s to wound than my vampire count's opponent did earlier on in the tournament, and started damaging the tank much more quickly than I thought. So getting a bit nervous at this point with the tank taking a lot of damage, but at least I've got the swordsman alive. At least the flagellants are going to be there for some time. So next photo pretty much shows you what the casualties results are. His first unit of troll slayers down to about 9 or 10 guys, but the other group of troll slayers moving in to combat the flagellants as well. And they may be enough to kill the flagellants at the end of the day, but by the time I've finished with that combat, after all the martyring and any spells that I cast on them, most of his troll slayers are going to be dead, so there'll be easy pickings for the swordsman, hopefully. Going to the next photo, though, I've decided to swing around later in the game here to bus formation with the swordsman. So all characters in the front rank except for the wizard, who's shunted to the second rank. Command group and 2 characters are in the front, and that will allow me to stand the ground for a while because he's going to break through the tank. The tank's down to just 1 wound, unbelievably, because he's got a BSB there with a rune that doubles his strength against toughness 5 or greater. So the tank's now down to 1 wound. I haven't been able to get enough spells off against it because he's got really good magic defense. So the tank's actually going to die very early, which will give him plenty of points and deny me the chance to get into better positions, which kind of bummed me out, to be honest. I thought the tank was going to last a lot longer, but Daryl's ability to roll 6s all the time really made a mess of my plans here. Pistolier is going right in front of the Dwarf Lord as well, just to redirect him, because I don't want the Dwarf Lord charging my unit of swordsmen, because that could be disastrous. Next image, what happens here is that, of course, he does charge the Pistoliers, who stand and shoot a couple of times, well, once, and of course, are beaten back, but at this stage I've actually killed almost all of his Dwarf Warriors. Longbeards, on the other hand, are down to a handful of about 14, but they do charge my exposed units of swordsmen, so it's going to be a long grind here. I've got Steadfast, and I've got 2 characters, but he's got his quite powerful Thane, and my Wizard casting Earth's Blood and so forth on the unit, so should be able to hold out for some time. The Flagellants are nearly wiped out, though. Just 1 Dwarf character and a few Troll Slayers left fighting them. The Knights finally, after spending 3 or 4 turns galloping around the other side of the battlefield, finally crunch into the cannon, having lost a few casualties from cannon and bolt thrower shots. But, of course, killing the cannon, no rune of immolation this time, so destroying the cannon, overrunning into the bolt thrower to pick up some points at the back of the field without, denying any, well, not losing any. Sorry, I am denying points to him with the Knights. Next image, what happens here is that the Dwarf Warriors overrun, and they're not within. They're not able to charge the crossbowmen here, so I can at least spend a turn getting out of their way. And the grind continues with the Dwarf Thane, and making a mistake there, casting whatchamacallit, flesh to stone on my swordsman, and then accepting a challenge with my general, who had a 1+ rerollable armor save, but I forgot about his rune giving him strength 8, and because my toughness went up past 5, it meant he was strength 8. What I could have done, and I forgot to do, was to actually get rid of the spell, because I can choose to end it at any time before the challenge. That would have been really funny, meaning he'd been back down to strength 4 and my general would have survived, so he does kill the general. But, yeah, Flesh to Stone does help me survive against the great weapons from the Dwarves, which is quite significant, mind you. Next image, my counter attack here is to move in with the crossbowman unit to flank him. And he's also moved in with his Dwarf Slayer on the right-hand side flank, but his Troll Slayers didn't make it into combat. And me doing this allowed me to win the combat, actually finally breaking the Dwarves here, and his Thane automatically dies, and his Dwarves, his Longbeards run away. So going to the next photo, unfortunately not actually catching him with the crossbowman, although in the following turn I was able to actually shoot him and get the points out of them, which was crucial. But I was able to reform here, kill the Dwarf Slayer character, and I think fight a final round against the Troll Slayers, not killing them. So at the end of the game, it was actually very close. I thought I was going to win by a large margin, but it was a very close game. It was a minor victory to me, having finally wiped out his Longbeards thanks to shooting there, but losing quite a lot in the process. So, in the end result of the tournament, I had, a couple of, almost draws, 1 significant loss and 3 big wins, putting me about 10th, overall out of about 40 people, so not, quite as high a result as I was thinking of. I think the list was very powerful, but, it let me down in a few situations. It could have been worse with me failing panic checks, but it was a good tournament nonetheless, and I'm glad the Empire were doing very well. And hope to see you guys next time. Anyway, looking forward to doing some battle reports soon. I have been posting a little bit about the Indie GT Chaos stores, which I've been trying out on the City Guard forums, so if you want to find out about that, go check it out. But yeah, Tomb King's coming out soon. Maybe able to do something with them, but until then, I'll have to let you guys know. See you later.